Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. This is Jim Hacking. It's episode number 234. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States. We have offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Looks like Skyla's here for us. Hello, Skyla. Thanks for helping out. I think Hooli might be on assignment today, but we're very happy to have her. If you haven't already, go ahead, let us know where you're watching from. Rocio's here as usual. We have Raphael's down in Tampa. I was just in Tampa a little while back. Wee's in Fort Myers. We got Florida in the house today. Sheldon is saying hello, as he often does. I am happy that it's Friday. I hope you all are happy. I hope you all are doing well. I feel like I'm winning big time. We just got word from our software provider for our immigration software that we're going to get an upgrade basically for free, and it's going to help us deliver our immigration benefits to our clients a whole lot better. I'm very, very excited to get that news. I'm also excited to head into the weekend. My wife is up in Boston with my son looking at colleges, so that's fun for them. And then I'll just be chilling this weekend, doing a little work tomorrow. Go ahead and let me know what you're going to do this weekend. Oh, we got Guyana and Brazil and Delaware. All right, everybody. Well, let's get started with today's show, and let's say hi to Eunice. Hi, Eunice.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm okay. My husband wants to talk to you.
Hi there.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
How are you? How are you?
Great. What can I help you with?
There's a situation whereby filing for my wife, and we went for an interview, and the lady that interviewed us was kind of, I would not say being something else, but he said that it said we should come. It does not even say we pass or we, but it said we shall contact you within the next 120 days. The 120 days is over. No any contact, nothing whatsoever. We are still waiting in anticipation. And when we talked to one person, he said, what you will be expecting, what you should be expecting is your card, not the work permit authorization. It's overdue. You don't have to call for work permit authorization. Even up to now, we are here to hear from their office what is likely going on.
So you're the petitioner, and your wife is the beneficiary?
Yes, sir.
And are you a U.S. citizen or a green card holder?
No, I'm a citizen.
Were you born in the United States?
I was not born here, naturalized.
How did you get your green card?
Married.
So, okay. So and when you came to the United States, what kind of a visa were you on when you came to the United States?
I think I went to school here, and it is through my government scholarship that made me come here to go to school.
And then you married a U.S. citizen, and that person filed for you?
Yes.
How long were you married to that person?
We married 2005. We divorced legally 2013.
Do you think that wife would have ever said anything bad to immigration about you?
No, we even have a child.
When did you get your citizenship?
2013.
And your current spouse, when did you meet?
We met 2020. Yeah.
Okay, and what was her immigration status at the time that you met? Was she here on a visit visa or what?
On a visiting, yeah.
What country are you from?
Nigeria.
And is that what country your wife is from?
Yes.
Has she ever been married before?
At home.
And tell me about the divorce.
Oh, she was legally divorced. Because when she got here, The husband said he could not wait any longer, that he's going to get married if he's not coming back within the next 1 or 2 months, and which is not possible.
So was the divorce in Nigeria or was the divorce in the United States?
Divorce here in the United States.
Okay. So, but it was from a court in the United States, not a Nigerian court.
No, Nigerian court. He divorced in Nigerian court and send out the paper here.
So do we know that the Nigerian divorce is real?
How is real?
How do you know that?
Well, that is exactly what we saw, but we don't actually know, but we believe when we see the stamp from the court, from the...
Yeah, but there's a whole thing about Nigerian. Look up on Google Nigerian divorce decrees. There's a whole thing about it. It's did your wife never talk to a judge, right?
Oh, no, not before.
And she was never in the courtroom. The divorce happened outside of her presence, right?
No.
Yeah. So it is either a fake divorce or at the very least, USCIS thinks it's a fake divorce. So what you need to do is hire an attorney who is not involved. Find the best attorney you can in Nigeria to go to the court and figure out if it's real or fake divorce. I think it's probably a fake divorce, which means your marriage in America is not valid, which means she can't get a green card based on that marriage. I think she has to get divorced from a court in the United States, and then you guys remarry and then file a new green card case, I think.
Actually, I think that is not the issue, because what happened was my wife filing for asylum when she came here.
Well, that probably added to it too. It's probably all those things. But I don't care about the asylum application other than the fact you're applying for a green card based on marriage. I think that marriage is fundamentally flawed because I think she's still legally married to the guy in Nigeria, because I think the divorce decree that you have is probably fake.
Or they might think so.
They might think so. Either it is fake, or at the very least, right now, today, they think every Nigerian divorce decree is fake until proven otherwise.
So can I do the divorce here myself?
That's what she just said. He said once they devalue it here, we have to file in here legally and divorce here legally.
Like what state do you live in?
Chicago, Illinois.
Illinois. So you would file an action in Chicago in court in Illinois. You would file for divorce from your husband in Nigeria. You'd have to like give him notice. I mean, first you need to figure out if the divorce is fake, but I think it probably is.
Okay.
So then you need to, I mean, you're going to have problems, because then you're going to have to get married again. And then eventually you're going to have to go back to immigration and explain all this stuff to them about how you didn't know it was a fake divorce. They're going to think you were part of the fraud.
But we are not home, so we should not know what is going on there.
Right. You just hired a lawyer and said, go get us our divorce. Yeah. No, I know. But here's the thing, you guys. We've talked about this story that I'm telling you right now. We've talked about on my show 10 or 15 times. So I've seen this story before, which means Chicago USCIS has seen it thousands of times. This is very much on their issues list right now.
But I think they should always also send us a letter telling us that divorce is fake as a result. They just kept quiet, not answering us, not saying anything.
I think they would say, and I think I've actually seen this, I think that probably right now, USCIS in Chicago has made a request to the State Department, to the embassy in Kenya, I mean in Nigeria, asking them to go down to the court and verify whether it's a real divorce. I've seen those findings from the State Department. I just think there's a bunch of cases ahead of yours and they just haven't gotten to it yet. So
you are most likely true. What you said is most likely true, that they might likely send that information to Nigeria and find out if that divorce is legal.
Yeah, but you could wait 2 more years for that decision.
We cannot do anything now until we hear from the USIS, from immigration.
This is what I would do. I would hire a lawyer in Nigeria and I would say, go down there and figure out if it's real. They're going to say it's fake. Then if I were you, I would withdraw the I-130, withdraw the I-45. Then I would have her file for divorce in Chicago, and then when that divorce is over, then you guys get married again, and then you file a new I-130 and a new I-45, and you be ready to talk about how you didn't try to trick anybody. You were a victim of these bad lawyers who didn't do what you paid them to do, which is to get her legally divorced.
But we had a lawyer here anyway, and there's nothing she told us about that situation before we went for the interview.
Well, that's because she's not paying attention.
She might not know that the divorce is fake.
Then she should start watching my show.
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
Okay. Thank you. You really help a lot. Thank you so much.
You got it. All right. Let's say hi to Fran. Hi, Fran.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I am well, thank you. I'm currently working with Part D, and
nice.
Me and my wife, so we are still in the process of having the forms filled out by the paralegal.
For green card?
Yes, adjustment of status.
Based on marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
So a few days ago, we actually find out that we are expecting.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Very excited. We are very, very excited.
That's great.
I hope it's a boy.
James is a great first name if you're looking for
names. I know. He will make a great lawyer.
Right.
So we were actually wondering, now that we have that news, whether such an information could be added to everything filled out. Once we go to the doctor, we start having some documentation from there. If we could add that as more evidence.
You can certainly bring it to the interview. It's nice to have some new evidence at the interview. So you could either do it before you file, or if you have 9 months of good medical records about the baby, that's all good too. So either way is fine.
Okay. And also, we moved in after we got married, and since then we've been, as you know how it goes. You make a lot of purchases here and there, and because I'm for some reason, I just like to keep receipts. We have tons of them, and one of your previous videos, I think I heard something. I was walking by, it was playing. I heard something about receipt. I was wondering if in our filing too, we could just take all those receipts that we used, that we got from our joint bank statements, from our joint bank account, and just add it into the forms that we are going to send to USCIS.
Financial information is very good evidence, and big purchases is good. I don't think you need to include receipts of toenail clippers, but if you bought a car or a refrigerator or a stove or a crib or something, that's all good stuff. I don't think you need to give them everything just because they'll find that annoying. But any big purchases, anything coming out of the bank account, that's all good.
Okay. I mean, we are 20-year-olds. There's not really much that we can buy in an apartment, except groceries, like $200 here and there.
I would say a sample of it. Just you don't want to give them every piece of paper. They're not going to like that.
Okay, got it. I had another question, but I forgot it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, you can just email your team or tell them to ask me. No problem. Thanks, Fran.
Yeah, sure.
Congratulations on the baby.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say? You hope what?
I hope again it's a boy.
Yeah, for sure. See you, buddy.
All right.
Let's say hi to Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Hi, man. How you doing? Mr. Jim? I'm sorry you caught me off guard a little bit. Just wanted to ask you a quick question, because I want to know if I should pack it up and go home, because it's been 10 months now since I've filed, and other than the biometrics, there's no benefits so far, not even a work permit, not even a travel document.
What are you applying for? A green card based on marriage?
Yeah, adjusting status.
Why would you pack it up and go home?
Because I hear people, because I watched your show before, I think it was last week or a few days ago, I hear you telling somebody that like they filed like in February, and you were saying that like in a week or so they probably should get it. And I'm thinking if they filed in February and they're getting theirs already, and I filed since last year and no movement, then
I mean, every case is different, and it depends on where you live. When did you get fingerprinted?
Oh, it was in November. It was in November of last year, 2021.
Where do you live?
I live outside of Atlanta, so I don't know if it's Atlanta.
Have you called USCIS to ask them about it?
Yeah, but when I did, yeah, because I did that. But when I did it, it said that I can't ask them about the case until like what they said, like the case is processing normal. But on the website it says that it should have been like in 8.5 months, and then they
for the EAD.
Yes, and then they say, and for the travel authorization, that one it moved up last month. It was saying 9 months, but then it moved up now to like 10.5 months. But then my thing is no EAD, no nothing. So I'm wondering if like maybe it's like a no-go for me or something. So
it has nothing to do with the merits of your case. They're not. They don't hold people's EAD because they think it's a bad case. That's totally separate. They're just backlogged. And I mean, can you show any kind of hardship? Could you make an expedite request based on some kind of hardship?
I don't know how to, because they were saying like I can't say anything about it until like
yeah.
Because
what was your status before you got married? Were you in status or out of status?
No, I was a few months out of status because when we got married, I filed. We had to wait for the the marriage certificate to come back. So that took some time, and that got me out of status. So it was like maybe 2 or 3 months out of status, I want to say. And
what was your status before that?
No, I was good. I used to work on a cruise ship. So I was back and forth, and then I come visit him. My wife used to come back to Jamaica to visit me at that time as well. But then, so we should have a pretty strong case because we've been together for like almost 8 years now. And
so the last entry before you applied, was that on a cruise ship visa or a
visit? No. I wasn't a B1, B2. I was a visit visa.
I think you're probably pretty close. I certainly wouldn't leave yet.
Like when, like for the even for the EAD, how close?
Just for the EAD.
Like how close would you think?
Weeks.
Like weeks?
Yeah.
Not even a month.
No.
Like weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. You really like kind of just blew my mind now, because I was thinking of packing it up.
Well, I don't want you to pack it up, so maybe I'm being a little optimistic.
No, don't do that to me.
I think that's legit. I'd say 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks. Okay, and then they will update it, and they will update my status and let me know online like when it's coming, because it's just says actively reviewing since November.
Have you moved at all since you filed?
No, and I was gonna ask you this also. They sent me a letter saying it's a deficiency letter, and it's for like a medical, but
that's the green card. You'll deal with that later. That doesn't slow down your work card.
So that has nothing to do with it either.
No, it's just for the medical exam for your green card.
So so you say just give it a few weeks then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it comes in a few weeks, I will be calling you back just to let you know.
Let me know. I'd love to know how I did. Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye. All right. Kevin's waiting. He's thinking about jumping ship, but we encourage him to stay. I hope he does. Let's say hi to Rishi. What's up, Rishi?
Hi, Jim. How are you doing today?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Doing good. So I called like a few times about my N400 case.
Did you get your citizenship?
No, still nothing. It's been over 120 days. Had my interview on April 6th.
The day before your parents.
Yeah, it was 2 days before my parents. And still nothing. So like we started, like my lawyer made like a formal like written inquiry to the Baltimore field office. See if that gets it moving. I was wondering, I might have to travel due to like an urgent family matter in the next few months, and I don't know how long it would take, assuming I don't get my citizenship for a while. Like at this point, I've kind of like lost hope of it processing like quickly. I kind of know that it might take like a few more months now. So is that going to be an issue if I travel and I might be out of the country for like a month? I haven't traveled outside the country at all since I got my green card. So it's not a matter of like continuing my residency. I just want to know, like, is that okay while I'm still having my N400 case pending to travel outside the country due to like an urgent family matter?
I'd prefer you not to be gone for a full month, but if you have to, you have to. It should be okay as long as someone's monitoring the case and monitoring the notices to see if you get a oath ceremony. I was going to ask you something. Oh, your green card's not going to expire?
No. It's a 10-year green card, and I've only had it active since 2015. So no chance of that expiring.
Good.
Like
So, yeah,
at this point,
I'm okay with you. I'm okay with you going.
like at this point, like how long do you think it'll take? Because I've been just like really frustrated. Like it's just been like radio silence from them.
Well, why don't you sue them? You have the right to sue them today.
You think we should go with the lawsuit?
120 days have gone by. Those are the best lawsuits of all. Maryland, I think if I sue them, you'll get a decision probably in 2 months, 2.5 months, maybe faster.
Okay. And you don't think that doing like the whole like reaching out to the congressperson would help at all with this?
No, I don't. It might,
Okay.
but not in my experience, it does not.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll definitely consider it. I mean, my lawyers like sent out like a written like formal like inquiry.
Let me know how
So
that goes. Let me know how that
yeah.
goes, okay?
Yeah, just very frustrating. Like I see like no reason for this because my parents have had their passports for months now at this point.
I think if their case had been interviewed before you, you'd be a citizen right now. I think
it's
that
just very frustrating.
I think there was some kind of classification of your case as still the son of citizens, and so I just don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Jim. That's like the only question I had. All right, thank you.
Buddy.
All right.
See ya. Yep. Let's say hi to Neil. Hi, Neil.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Jim, I'm a new caller to the show. I think you're doing a good job.
Awesome.
And I have some questions about the I-751.
Okay.
So I filed the I-751 in May of 2021, and the last time my case was updated was in June of 2021, and that was the last. I heard from them.
Okay.
And this date, I haven't heard anything from them as yet. So I don't know what's going on.
Did you file it? You're still married. Everything's okay with the marriage?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So no worries. I mean, you're at 16. You're at 14 months. They're taking 2 years right now, so you're fine. Nothing to worry about.
Okay. So my question is, do you think they're gonna take like more than 24 months?
I saw my first 751 that was at the 26 mark. 26 month mark. I haven't seen many of those. I saw one the other day, but it's usually right around 2 years.
Okay. So, in your experience, you've only had like one that took more than 24 months.
That's the first one I've even seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, other people in the comments might say something a little bit different, but yeah, 751. I saw one the other day that was 26 months, and that surprised me.
Okay, that's great to hear. My second question is, let's just assume that they take more than 24 months, and my 24 months extension letter, it's going to expire in May of 23.
Yeah.
So my question is, let's just assume that they take more than 24 months.
Yeah.
How can I keep my job?
So when it's 90 days before it's set to expire, you'll call USCIS and say, I need to make an InfoPass appointment to get a stamp in my passport. And then you'll go downtown, they'll take your green card, they'll take your extension letter, and they'll put a stamp in your passport granting you lawful permanent resident status for 1 more year.
Okay, I see. So I have to call,
my friend Rocio says that she has somebody who's been waiting 3 years for their removal of conditions.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard much of that, but I believe her.
So, which leads me to my next question. Let's say they take more than 24 months. Like, what's the next step? Like,
You can keep waiting, or you can sue them.
so how long do I have to wait to file the mandamus?
Oh, I would file it anytime after 2 years. I think 2 years itself is ridiculous, but if that's what their stated processing times are, then I would say if you get to 26, 27 months, then I'd sue them.
Okay, so anything below 24 months, that's not going to work.
I would do it, but the courts will probably give them a break on that.
Okay. Now, can you expedite the I-751?
You can try. I don't think they'll do it.
And my next question is, do you have clients in New York? I mean, I know you have your offices in DC, right?
Yeah, we've had lots of cases in New York. I've been to Manhattan, I've been to Holtzville, I've been all over New York. So yeah, for sure.
Okay, because I'm in New York, and if I were to let's say hire you, is that possible?
Oh yeah, especially for lawsuits. We do lawsuits all over. We probably have 10 lawsuits right now in New York.
Okay, and my last question is regarding the info pass, because I'm scared about losing my job, because the my extension letter is going to be expired in May.
Yeah.
So regarding the info pass, before we could have do it online, so we can't do that anymore.
No, they turned it off, as far as I know.
Okay, so I have to call the 1-800 number
and get a tier 2 supervisor and just tell them what you told me, and that is, I'm at the end of my 2-year extension letter. I'm going to lose my job. I need an appointment for a stamp, and they'll make you an appointment.
Okay, and I can do that. You said 90 days before the expiration date.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim. Thanks a lot.
Bye, Neil. See you, buddy.
Okay, bye.
All right. Let's say hi to Ann. Hi, Ann. You're on mute. There you go. Hi, guys.
Hey, Jim. You spoke with my husband, Mark, yesterday or a couple days ago about our transferring our case to Taiwan.
Right.
We're in Dallas.
And I was advocating that everybody stay in America until it's over, but you don't want to do that?
Exactly. No, that's okay. We got a notice from the USCIS saying that they needed evidence to prove that our household member lives in the same principal residence as like the sponsor, the household member, all of us together. Wondering what is the best way to prove that? Is it?
Well, whose house is it?
It's my parents' house.
And they're the co-sponsor?
Yep.
And
so my father is the co-sponsor. My mom is the household member of the sponsor.
So do they have a deed? Do they have a deed, I assume?
Yes.
So we'd want that deed, and then how about driver's licenses?
Yes.
The right address?
Mine does not have the right address, no.
So I'd go and change my driver's license to have the right address.
Okay.
And then I would get the deed. And then I would send them some kind of I assume that since they're your parents, they're just letting you stay there, right?
Right.
So I would probably get an affidavit from your mom or dad and have them sign it and say, yeah, we all live together. This is the address. Here's our driver's licenses. Here's our deed. We're the property owners. And that should be plenty.
Okay. Is it better to submit those kind of things online or through the mail? Does it matter?
Always the mail.
Mail. Okay. What was our final question? Do you think the fact, so they said that they need this information in order to make a decision. Does this by any chance mean that we're close to a decision, or really?
Everything's on hold until you get that to them, including the EAD. So
right, but once we get that to them, does it mean we're close?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It used to, but not anymore. Now it's
the correct answer is yes, Jim.
Yes. So the answer is yes.
Okay. It used to, but not anymore.
Yeah, it used to, but now they do that earlier in the process. So I mean, ultimately it's good because you got to get out of the service center before you get to the field office. So in a way, yes, but every day you're on hold is a day you're slowing everything down.
Right. Okay. So get it in. And why mail rather than online?
I don't trust anything that happens online with them.
Okay.
Too many horror stories.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for your time.
Gotcha.
Appreciate it.
Well, I have one question. So
sure.
You strongly suggest us to stay, and then you believe, it would invite a lot of headache if we do move the case back to Taiwan. Do you think that the headache is that we're going to wait longer, or we'll get rejected?
Okay, so no, you won't be rejected, but that you'll be waiting. I'm saying like an extra year. You're adding a year to the whole thing if you do it that way. So what I mean by that is, and this is sort of the analogy I used the other day, your case right now is pointed to whatever field office you live by, Dallas, right? So everything is geared toward Dallas. Think of the federal government like nailing everything down to go just to Dallas, like they can't see anything else. And so just on your decision, you're gonna say, I'm going to Taiwan, and then you're gonna try to get this stupid agency that doesn't do anything right, that you can't communicate with, to understand that you are no longer in the United States, that you no longer wish to adjust your status, and that you now need to go to the National Visa Center and then to Taiwan. I mean, I honestly can't think of how you could even control that. You just lose all kind of control and momentum if you leave now to go to Taiwan.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
Jim.
Bye, guys. I know it's frustrating. See ya. All right, let's say hi to Rita. Hi, Rita. You're muted.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
My question is, my daughter, we tried to get my daughter here from when she was 14. She's 32 now. So her case is with the NIV. I want to know, can she come here while she's waiting for her green card?
Well, why is the case taking 18 years?
It's a long story. We went for a visa, and the consul in the Belgium embassy, they didn't want to allow us even to come to visit family over here, and they denied us twice. We even wrote the White House, and she was lying, and she said that I was destitute, I had no house, and that I wanted to come to America. And then I went back. I had proof of my house, my cars, my bank accounts, that I never even had a ticket, speeding ticket or anything. I went back with all those papers, and she still denied us. So she was 14 years old at the time. So we let it go because we couldn't do nothing. And then she fell in love. She got married, and so she stayed there. And so her husband died when she was a year and a half married, and then she still wanted to come here. And then she was actually 16 or 17 when I got married with my husband here, because I'm from Belgium. My husband is an American citizen. So since she was underage when we married, she's some category, I don't know, but so her case, we filed for an I-130 in 2017. So actually her case is due in January next year.
To become current, it'll become current in January.
Yeah, but it doesn't move, and she's pregnant with her second child. So she wants to start her life. She's been waiting from when she was 14 to get here. So we want to see if there's a loophole that she can come over here. And
no, we don't want any more loopholes. She played. It's been complicated already. We don't want to make it more complicated. But let's just put all your history to the side, and let's just say, and so now, Rita, you're a U.S. citizen, and you filed for her. Is that right?
No, my husband filed because I only became a U.S. citizen last year in August or September, and I've been here 20 years. So.
Okay. How long have you been married?
17 years.
Okay. All right. So, an adult child of a U.S. citizen who has a pending I-130 without your complicated history, just a general, I'm a U.S. citizen, I have this older child back in Belgium that I want to bring to the United States on a green card. If I've filed that case, the chances of that child, while that case is pending, getting a visit visa to the United States are probably about 5%.
Okay.
Because everybody is like her and everybody wants to come sooner than the line.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll think her visit is just a plan to jump to the head of the line. So you can certainly apply for it, but she can only come for 6 months. It would just make things more complicated. I don't think it's going to work given her history. And I think you should just focus on the green card.
Okay. Okay. So that's one thing. I had a lawyer before, and he told me, because she was pregnant with her first child, so her soon-to-be husband, he said, don't get married because then you go back on the line, right?
Well, but they're applying through your husband, who's a U.S. citizen, right?
She's applying, but in the meantime, while all this is happening, she started dating somebody and they're living together and stuff. And after her husband died, and she was pregnant with her first child. And I was like, oh my gosh, now she can't come. And that lawyer said, yes, the kid can come. I said, what about her boyfriend? And he said, don't let them get married, because if they get married, she's going to go back in line. She can't come over, but she has to wait till she get a green card, then get married, and then apply for him.
I think that's the better approach, but I can't give you this kind of advice. I can't give you that technical of advice for her potential husband without looking at everything and looking at the timelines, and I'd have to see everything.
So can you tell me what an ETA is? I just found that online because I was doing some research.
I don't know.
An ETA is like, it says like you can file for somebody come into the country for 5 years. I never saw that before.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So she's an F11. So does she count as the daughter of her stepdad, or how does that work? Because my husband filed for her before I had my green card.
Again, I'd have to look at everything in order to answer that.
Okay. So one last thing, it says also on the USCIS, it says visas are always available for immediate relatives. What does that mean?
Immediate relatives are the spouses of a U.S. citizen, the under 21-year-old child of a U.S. citizen, or the parents of a U.S. citizen. She's not an immediate relative.
Okay. Okay, so she's an F11 then.
I think so.
Okay. Okay, Jim, thank you for your answers. That will do it for now. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, listen, so I was talking to our marketing team today, and they told me that I've been making a mistake over the years. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know that at the end of the videos, I say, if you have any questions about this, give us a call at 314-961-8200. They say that I've encouraged too many people to call the office, and that people are a little confused when they call the office, because the purpose of the office is to see if we can help people. So we offer a ton of free resources. We have 1,500 YouTube videos. We have a website with, I think, 3,000 pages of information on there. And I'm sort of cutting off my nose to spite my face by encouraging people to call the office. The reason we want you to call the office is if you want to hire us. I do my best 3 or 4 hours a week to answer as many immigration questions as I can, creating content here for all of you. But the purpose of calling the office is to see if you want to hire us. And I'm probably going to need to start changing the way I end the videos, because our phone team is having a hard time keeping up. And more importantly, because we're spending so much time talking to people who aren't realistically thinking about hiring us, that's keeping us from talking to the people who actually do want to hire us. So I'm going to have to figure out something. One is to change the language that I use at the end of the call. But in the meantime, the purpose of calling the office is if you want to hire us, or if you're considering hiring us. You don't necessarily have to be 100% sure that you want to hire us, but the reason I do these calls is to give back to the community, to lead with value, to provide information, to create content that we can reuse, to make friends, which we've done. But as far as like, I'm not gonna, you don't get to call and talk to me or one of the other lawyers unless, you've talked about your case with the lead team member. They've figured out it's the kind of case that we can handle. We've told you how much it's going to cost, and you've identified that you're open to considering hiring us at that rate. So I'll probably keep clarifying this over the next few weeks, because the team has asked me to make it clear that when I say call the office, that I really mean, for the most part, if you're thinking about hiring us. All right. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, Alejandra said, I agree too. Maybe be more straightforward when mentioning the call option. I think that's a good idea. I will start doing that as of right now, Alejandra. Thank you. Let's say hi to Christian. Hi, Christian.
Hi, how you doing, Jim?
Great. How are you?
Good. A little bit tired, but luckily it's Friday, so the week's going well so far. So, Jim, I'm a US citizen living abroad in South Africa. I've got dual citizenship. I recently applied for a green card for my spouse. We got married in January 2nd, and we are now in the process, but there isn't a lot of information if you're a US citizen living abroad for over 10 years, trying to come back to the States, because my family obligations in South Africa is now complete. I cared for my grandfather during his cancer period, and now I'd like to move back with my spouse nearer to my mother and stepfather in Boulder, Colorado. So I have come out to the States. I came out at the end of February, and I returned in March because I was working for a company here in South Africa. And now we are looking at moving permanently back to the States. However, I don't really have any assets or anything. My mother is willing to be a co-sponsor for us. But other than applying for the R-130 and also providing R-130A and a few affidavits from friends that were actually at our wedding, I'm not too sure on what further steps I should be taking.
Perfect. That's a great question. Thank you, Christian. So first of all, I'm sorry about your grandfather. Did he recover?
Okay.
Did he recover?
Unfortunately not. He didn't win the battle, but it was a long and well-fought battle over 10 years. So,
oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my dad passed away in December, so I know that can be really tough.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm really glad that you've been back to the United States, and I love Boulder. I was just in Boulder in April, and I loved it. It was great. I lived in Denver for a little. I lived in Denver for a little while. Okay, so it's really good that you've been back, because that shows some kind of ties. Now let's start with your taxes. What's the situation with you, Christian? Your taxes for the last 3 years?
So my taxes has always been for SARS, the South African Revenue Service. I haven't been filing on the US side because I've been estranged from the country for so long, and generally the money that I've been earning here in South Africa, when I have been looking on the RS and trying to get more information there, I'm essentially under the file, or there's a certain line that you have to be at to file. But I have also approached another entity to also find out. They didn't really get back to me. And then I asked my stepfather, who asked his accountant that does their taxes. And she said that I should start filing for 2022 now that I'm earning a bit more. South African money, it's about 17 Rand to the dollar. So it's a lot less than the dollar at the moment. But overall, I'm still under that line. Even with my spouse, we are under that line in total. But even though we're under that line, I want to file for the year of 2022 and going forward as well.
So I want you to file for the last 2 years and 2022. So I need 3 years of taxes. They're going to,
okay.
You don't need it today,
yes,
but you're going to need it later. So it could be like, if you need to talk to that CPA and say, I talked to Jim. Have you already filed the I-130, or you're going to file?
The I-130 we did on literally the 1st of July.
Okay.
This is before I actually started seeing your videos. And
That's okay. No, it's okay, because this is stage 2. So the one thing for everyone to remember is there's on an overseas case, there's two stages. The first stage is at USCIS. And I assume you used your parents' Boulder address as your address for the I-130.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So the very first question is this a real marriage? That's all that USCIS is. The couple, I'm not asking, I'm just saying, is the couple free to marry? And do we believe this relationship? Whether you, Christian, have been in Boulder for the last 20 years or Johannesburg for the last 20 years, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only question here is this a valid marriage? So at the next stage is where issues like you being outside the country for so long, your taxes, your spouse's long-term plans, all those things come up at the next stage. So for now, you're totally fine. You did it just right. You got your I-130 on file. Have you gotten your receipt notice back yet?
So I did I've actually got it open right now, but I have got, yes, I do have a receipt notice.pdf because I did it online. Because the South African postal services are very sketchy.
Yeah, so, no problem. Yeah, so that's great. So that's on file. So that's underway. So, 8, 9, 10 months, it'll be pending at USCIS. Then that gets approved. And then you'll go to the National Visa Center. And it's at the National Visa Center where you're going to need your taxes for the last 3 years, your affidavit of support, your co-sponsor's affidavit of support, and then you're going to fill out all the information in the DS-260 about your spouse for the immigrant visa part. So then you do that part, and then eventually it'll get scheduled for an interview in Johannesburg. I would say at some time in that time period, maybe between when you file and when they have their interview, you, Christian, are probably going to want to come back to the United States again. And
yeah, so the both of us do. My mother actually suggested that I come over to the States at an earlier stage, but it's just, with the amount of crime and that on this side, I can't be separated from her for too long. It's just the way with crime on this side. It's I mean, I've got pepper spray to the right of me, so it's,
you mean right there in your apartment, you have pepper spray?
Yeah, just.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's just I'm a bit anxious about being too far from her.
I understand.
And
so a week is fine, but we just want to sort of nail down. I mean, you have some good stuff going for you. You have your parents here. You have an address. You were just here. Technically, you don't have to come back at all.
Okay.
Cool. If it makes you feel better, you don't have to. Especially if you can start to articulate, like she'll have to be able to articulate. We're going to live in Boulder. We're going to live with his parents for the first 6 months. Then we're going to find an apartment. I'm going to work in this job. He's going to work in that job. We're going to have our bank at this bank. We're going to, if we have any kids, we're going to send them to this school. We're going to get a library card, those kinds of things. So anything you can do.
And when I was over there, one of the goals was also just to start interviewing for jobs. But I didn't manage to get anything because I was coming back to South Africa. But I managed to at least get a co-signed credit card through one of the banks in Boulder, or a credit union, and my mother has co-signed for that as well. So there's just a bit going on there as well, but we've got full intention on coming.
Yeah, so I think you're in good shape. I think you're doing things mostly right. I think you're in good shape. Just get those taxes squared away. But you got 10 months to do that, so I think you're heading down the right track.
Awesome. No, great. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
All right, Christian. See you, buddy. Yep.
Thanks. Keep up.
Bye-bye. Okay. Yep. All right. We got some people who are appreciative of the show and that we've been helping people. We try to help for sure. We like making the videos. The videos have really improved. Ayara says we've given plenty of our time answering questions. Thanks. Rocio said they loved Christian's South African accent. I did too. And also Ayara says I've learned so much by watching the show. So that's great. We thank everybody for that. Thank you for the positive feedback. Let's say hi to Cuz. Hi, Cuz.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. What can I help you with?
I have a question. I have filed I-130 form as a sibling-based green card for my sister, in 2014. I want to know, can she come for a PhD doctorate program in US?
She can certainly try. The school will issue her the I-20. The question is whether the embassy will give her an F1 visa because she's done what's called, she's shown that she has immigrant intent. She wants to get a green card. She wants to live here forever. That's inconsistent with an F1. An F1 to study is I'm coming for a period of time and then I'm going to go back home. So
okay, so currently she's pursuing masters in microbiology in UK, Aberdeen.
Yeah, so she can try. I think the chances are probably 1 out of 5.
Oh. Okay, okay. And if she tries and she gets it, is it going to be legal? Can she file a green card by herself also?
Well, you mean if she comes on her F1 and she goes studying all the way up until the time her visa becomes current, could she at that point file for a green card? Is that what you mean?
If she can, if she can apply, like right now, green card is taking like 15 to 20 years.
Yeah,
and we are only on like, it's only been like 8 years right now.
Yeah.
So can she file a green card by herself after
Oh, you
a
mean
couple
like
of years?
could she get a work visa after her PhD and then have an employer sponsor her for a green card? Is that
Yes,
what you mean?
yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can have different competing green card applications. Sure.
Oh, okay. And can she also, if she can she also apply for on a H1 visa? Can she work here on a H1 on a
Yeah.
postdoctorate or a doctoral program?
Yeah, well, after the OPT, after the PhD, she'd want to get OPT and then do the H-1B. So yeah, she can do all that stuff. But the big question is whether they're going to let her in with that immigrant visa that you filed for her. That's the big question.
Oh, okay. And one more thing, I have one more question. While she also filed for a visitor visa to US back in 2019, I have one more sister. She lives in Minneapolis. She filed for her. At the time when she applied, and there was a question: has anyone ever applied a petitioner for you? And the question that was answered was no.
Yeah, so that's a lie, right? That's
what should we do?
Well, why did she do that? Did she get the visit visa? Or
she didn't knew it, and the answer like she didn't knew it.
Did she get the visit visa or did she not get the visit visa?
Yeah, she got it.
I don't know. That's going to be a problem later on when she tries to get her green card. That's going to haunt her the rest of her immigration career.
So what is the best way we can do?
If she applies for a student visa, she should answer that question yes, and then just see what happens. I think that makes it harder for her to get the student visa.
Oh.
But she can't lie anymore. She's got to start telling the truth now, and eventually they'll figure it out.
Oh.
Okay. And that being said, if there's a question, have you ever misrepresented yourself to obtain an immigration benefit? I think she has to mark yes on that question too.
Okay, but that was mistake. She didn't understand the question.
They don't care.
Okay, so what should we do? What is the best way? Should we just go and let them know and fill out the form correctly?
Yeah, from now on, whenever she applies for something, you have to let them know. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and then let them know that it was a mistake.
Yeah, but then I think the chances go from 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 1,000. Okay. I mean, it could even affect her ability to get a green card through you because they think she misrepresented herself.
Oh.
Because they wouldn't have, if she had marked yes, they wouldn't have given her that visit visa, and so that's going to piss them off and make them angry.
Okay. Okay. So right. I don't know. What is the advice?
And just got to tell the truth from here on out and see what happens.
Okay. And if she gets it, what should we do? Should we
well,
just
then she's good. If she tells the truth and they give her the next visa knowing that she lied to them, which I think the chances of that are 1 in 1,000, then she's fine.
Okay, then. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Thank you, Jim, very much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to Mohammed. What's up, Mohammed? Oh, Mohammed, are you there? All right, Mohammed's not there. Let's say hi to, everybody's jumping off. Let's say hi to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you with us?
Yeah, hello, Jim. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Wow, it's taking so long to try to connect with you. I'm so grateful for what you do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, straight to my question. I'm currently an F1 student.
Okay.
Graduated in June for a master's and will resume in the next 10 days for a doctorate.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Now, my question is this. there may be a need for me to do day one CPT. And if that happens, I'm a pastor, and I just finished from seminary going to do a doctorate of ministry. Now, if I do day one CPT, will that affect an adjustment of status if that is also to happen in the course of my doctorate study?
You're doing CPT because it's part of the program, and in order to get your PhD, you need to have that experience.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's exactly what CPT is designed for. That's good CPT. That's not bad CPT. So I'm fine with that.
Okay. So since I'm in status and doing the CPT, if there's a need to do an adjustment of status, maybe pursuing a religious green card, is that something I can? Is that a possibility?
What do you mean? Is that a possibility?
I mean, is it a right thing to do? Not wanting to.
Is the CPT going to screw up your green card? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, it's not going to screw up your green card.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. You're doing a great job, and we're so grateful.
Thanks, Emmanuel. See you, buddy.
All right.
Say to Siraj. What do you say, Siraj?
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I just want to ask you about the late EAD for asylum Tunde application.
Yeah.
How much time will it take? Because I'm applying for one, I'm skeptical how much time it will take.
I mean, I think it's going to be 5 to 7 months, something like that.
Oh, 5 to 7 months? Like after applying, after sending the application. No, that's it. The EAD application.
Yeah.
I-76. Right?
Yep.
Really?
I hope. I mean, every case is different, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, people in the comments might say something differently.
Oh, okay. So I'm currently F1 student, and I'm facing a hardship here. I believe I can. I asked the school, and they said you can apply for severe economic hardship.
How long have you been in school?
More than a year now, year and a half. I came here in last year, beginning of last year, 2021.
Was there a change in circumstances, or was it something that?
Yes, I believe you can see the inflation and rising prices of everything, even the tuition school.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Siraj.
Oh, just a question. My main question is: do you think I should apply for this severe economic hardship?
I mean, if you're
do you
applying,
think this can affect my asylum application?
If you're applying for asylum, it's not going to affect your asylum case. It's only going to affect your F1. No, I think that's okay.
So you think I should do that?
I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying I don't think it's going to screw up your asylum case.
Yeah. So if I'm facing a severe economic hardship, I should do that.
I'm not going to tell you should do it. I'm going to say I'm not going to tell you that you should do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Bye, buddy. Good luck. All right, everyone. That'll do it for today's show. It was a good one. We'll be back on Monday. I think at 1 o'clock. We'll see you on Monday at 1 p.m. If you're not on our texting list, make sure you get on the texting list. Text the word show to 314-470-3300. That way you'll get updated whenever I change the meeting time, which I often do based on my schedule. So we'll be on this Monday at 1 p.m. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.